It's always been unusual, and since it was founded in 1983. And at this point in history, I would say it's not only unusual, it's unique. Because of the fact that we cover women's studies books and creative writing by women, which is not a focus of any other print publication, because we do in-depth reviews rather than just really short paragraph reviews. I mean, there's lots of book reviewing that's kind of migrated to the internet, but most of that is kind of done by non-writers and who are writing sort of short appreciations of books that they liked generally. Women's review is very different. I mean, we tend to publish longer review essays by people who really are experts in their fields. And I'm beginning to think more and more that that is totally rare. I mean, I was reading the Times the other day, and there was a review by their main reviewer, Michiko Kakutani, about this book about the history of yoga in the U.S. And I happened to read it because I had read this book in galleys and I do yoga. But then I was thinking, you know, she's not an expert in yoga or Eastern religion or, you know, whatever, you know, American culture. She reviews everything. And there's something to be said for being sort of a generalist, intellectual, scholar, well-informed person. But at Women's Review, I really do try to match reviews to reviewers who have some kind of specialty in the field. And it's amazing that I'm often able to do that quite closely. I just assigned a book about modern Korean culture to a Koreanist at the University of California, and I was very happy to find her. But which is another reason why I feel like women's review of books is important. I was once involved in a discussion with an editor at the New York Times Book Review who claimed that he could not find qualified women reviewers for certain types of books. And I said to him, you know, our policy is that we like to encourage critical writing by women, so that we only assign books to male reviewers if we can't find a woman reviewer who can do the review, and that has almost never happened. One of the unique things about women's review of books is that we give an opportunity for these kinds of scholars to speak to the rest of the world outside of their specialty, and that's important and illuminating both for them in thinking about how do I make my work, how do I open up my work to general readers, and also, of course, illuminating for us readers of this work. If you look at the ratio, if you just start taking statistics, if you want to start counting numbers, which some people don't like to do, but if you look at the ratio of books by women to books by men in the major book review publications, and if you look at the ratio of women reviewers to male reviewers, they're pathetic. Women, especially in nonfiction. Women's fiction often gets reviewed, but I notice more and more that there's very little overlap between what we review in terms of women's nonfiction scholarship and what you might even find in the New York Review of Books or the Washington Post or New York Times or any of those well-respected book review publications. They just aren't getting some of this really important and interesting and lively work. Why? I don't know.